Sugar Land PARCS Board meeting. It is 5:30 on August 11th. Oh, leave behind, right?
All right.
You're supposed to speak up.
Yeah.
All right, I want to speak, exactly. I'm calling the Sugar Land PARCS Board meeting to order. Please note that this meeting is open to the public and is being recorded as per the Texas Open Meetings Act, which is available to the public. First item is, are there any public speakers?
No one signed up.
Thank you so much. The second item that I want to go through is the consideration of an action on the approval of the meeting minutes of the previous meeting we had. Any comments or any questions y'all have with regards to that? Do I have a motion for approval? Andy? Second?
Motion or second,
Thank
either.
you so much.
There's your April, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yes. You're correct, yes. All in favor? Oh, thank you so much. Motion carries and for the meeting minutes for the April meeting. Next item we have on here are the workshops. Duhasik Park update, review of and discussion on the engagement process, key findings and the county's direction and next steps of Duhasik Park. Ms. Kimberly Terrell, Director of Park and Recreation, will be presenting.
Good afternoon. I am only going to be up here to make some introductions. With us tonight, we have Commissioner Dexter McCoy. And we also have Todd Moeller with the KCI Architects. They will be with, they'll be presenting on this item tonight for the Duhasik Park and the involvement and master plan for Fulton County. All yours, and if you want to advance, you can say arrows. Yeah.
Perfect. So,
All right, there you go.
awesome. Well, good evening, everybody. I am Commissioner Dexter McCoy, representing Fort Bend County Precinct 4. It is really an honor to be with you tonight. It's crazy. I can remember being in this room as a high schooler in Fort Bend ISD schools years ago, and it looked much different than this. So it's nice to see the progress the city is making. I am so delighted for this partnership that the city has formed with the county to develop this really important asset in our community, which is Duhasik Park. We're really honored that the Duhasik family had the value for maintaining and preserving green space on their homestead in the heart of our community. And we're really excited for what this is going to become. Really just want to say a special thank you to Spencer, who's with the government affairs team here, as well as Kimberly and William from the Parks and Recreation team, who have been really solid partners in helping us to get here today. And of course, our partners from KCI, which is the firm that was selected to do the entire master planning process for this. We started this process in earnest on April 15th. By doing what we value most in Precinct 4, and that's engaging with the public. We like to think we're smart folks, but the folks who know best what needs to be in this park are the residents who are going to make use of it. So you'll hear a little bit about what that public engagement looked like, about the process of going back and forth and refining this proposal that we have, and what we hope to be able to accomplish and get started by the end of this year. So next, I'm going to introduce one of our partners from KCI, who's really been the lead on this project, who will walk you through our presentation and talk to you a little bit about what our vision is for how we're going to maximize this space for the benefit of our community at Duhasik Park.
Thank you, Dexter. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. You're always hard to follow. You're like always perfectly smooth. If we could all speak that way publicly. So my name's Todd Moeller. I'm with KCI Technologies, and as the commissioner noted, we were hired to do the master planning on this park. And we started off with public engagement, and I'll go through some slides here in a minute, but I guess I wanted to cap it all to start off with. We have we'll go over the active and the passive features that were identified in the public engagement as part of the programming effort for the park. We'll look at the master plan, the phase 1 plan, which would be the front end installation, and a schematic timeline. So Then we started off with public engagement that's been mentioned. There actually were several people that I see here that were at that event. It was fairly well attended. There was a lot of, I don't know if you guys have been to these kind of things, but there were forms to fill out. You could either QR code it, you can fill it out in person, you can take your circles, colored circles that you get, you can prioritize what's important to you. There were a lot of different options there. So it was actually quite a good showing, and it wasn't unbearably hot. So that was a good thing. Some of the active recreation elements that were identified in through the public engagement: playgrounds, cricket fields overwhelmingly. In addition to the cricket fields, there's also a multi-use field that you'll see in the plan. So it's also soccer, football, kickball, multi-use, whatever you can turn it into. We also have pickleball and tennis courts that are proposed in there, and disc golf. So we actually had a stronger showing for disc golf than was expected. So those are the main active recreation elements. Passive recreation elements are, of course, the existing pavilion that you see there, an expansion of the pavilions on the parks that people can relax and picnic benches out in uncovered green spaces, trails through. There is existed wooded area there, which is a wonderful asset for the property. So taking advantage of that, and as well as the idea of a community garden were the important elements that we came away with. So jumping to the master plan. The existing alley of trees, the pecans that are represented here. If you've been out to the site, you'll recognize that. We really wanted to use that as an existing feature on the park, and of course not impact those, as is part of the obligation for us not to impact those things. But of course, they're mature trees. What is the thing that I always hear is people say, when was the best time to plant a tree? And I say, Kimberly will know.
100 years ago.
Exactly. So when you have mature trees, you do everything you can to keep them and take advantage of it. So we push the active recreation more or less to the north side of that existing LA. The road, unfortunately, is not wide enough in and of itself right now as a gravel road to actually meet fire code and do all the other things that we need to have it be the ultimate build out road. So that is part of the idea that could become a space in and of itself that would be valuable for either markets or that kind of an art fair, that animal that I think we're all familiar with. So we have the active recreation up. We have the existing LA to take advantage of. We have some overflow parking that you'll see near the front and up to the back. We have dog parks, which I'm sorry I did not mention in the others, because actually I wasn't sure whether to put that in active or passive. I guess it depends how you use it. But we have a large and a small dog park envisioned for the northwest corner up there, and some parking to serve that area as well, and the historic home as well for future events that might come to fruition. So we have parking associated with that and sort of back of house things. The parking lot that's existing there now would become more formal, right, with an entrance drive formalized on the south side of the trees. The disc golf you can see wrapping around again through the wooded areas that that I mentioned. We have nine holes in there as this is designed. I think when that does happen, it probably will be an opportunity for us to engage the public again, as there was a strong voice at the public engagement about being involved in that design. So we'll see how that goes. And then as we wrap around between the golf and the main drive, we have the pickleball and the tennis courts that we had talked about. Again, concentrating that active courts all in one area. Another large pavilion like the one that's out there now would be envisioned to maintain that theme, and a pavilion lawn. There's also the playground that is proposed here in this area. Wanted to be sure you could walk straight from the parking lot to the playground without crossing traffic. All those kind of things come into your mind when you're trying to lay these things out, even in a master plan stage. And we did picture some sort of a community or vegetable garden there and associated with the historic home. So the first stage, phase one, These are the elements that are currently envisioned to be included.
For those of us, and I'm not familiar with this part, can you orient me to where we're at? I see what looks like a river there, but I'm not sure.
So north is the drainage easement, which is Red Gully. So this is actually an existing smaller park, and that is also called Dehasic. And that is part of the community on that side.
Sorry, you're asking where in Sugar Land this is?
Yeah,
So this is Village of Oak Lake is a neighborhood that this is near off of Highway 6. You turn onto Voss, and it's Voss and Old Richmond. If you've driven over there recently, the county recently installed a roundabout right there.
Just built this roundabout in the last.
Yeah, because West Airport is above. West Airport is above right there.
Just south of West Airport.
Garcia Middle School and Texas Safari are behind it.
All right.
Garcia Middle School and Texas Safari are behind
Okay.
it.
Oh, okay. All right. I know where Texas Safari is.
Yeah, well,
I didn't know it's
right
go
here.
around.
So the phase one elements, again, trying to strategically identify what was affordable and could be established more easily in the first phase to have an immediate impact on the park. The fields were chosen, the dog park up there, and again, trying to keep all of that work on one side, if you will, of the park, to avoid affecting the other side of the park while we're doing that. So we have the fields, we have the dog parks, the pavilions and the restrooms and the homes stay as is in this stage. We will provide some overflow parking that may likely be temporary, be it as the park is there now, which is not paved, it's crushed asphalt or gravel. But some additional parking to serve those, some water fountains that would be established for the field and for the recreation up there. And for the dog parks, and we would propose to include the disc golf through the bottom parts of the tree. So that would involve strategically locating that through trees, maybe creating some small openings both for trails that we saw, the trail systems, and for the disc golf. I'm sorry, I did fail to mention the red dashed lines that you see are interconnected, envisioned to be interconnected trails that would be running throughout the park, with one that would give you a great big loop and then interconnected in the smaller areas for our kids when they get tired. In terms of the timeline, the blue "you are here" icon there between 3 and 4 is sort of where we are here. We've moved from the concepts through public engagement, and we have the master plan in place. So the phase one construction documents we're at the very beginning. We're waiting to start that phase. That would proceed from once we have construction documents into the phase one bidding and award. So actually taking those and going out to public bid and finding a contractor and starting construction. Then there's the construction itself and the grand opening. So as of right now, we don't have any of those dates nailed down yet. So they're just in terms of duration. We were 6 months for the phase one construction, 3 months for the getting a contractor on board, and probably 6 months for construction out there. Those are sort of aggressive numbers because we were asked to try to expedite things, but that's where we are. That's where we are right now. So I don't think I have anything else. I'd be happy to take questions.
So before we get to that, the previous question, I assume that everyone was familiar with this project, so I just want to take a step back to just explain this. Dehasic Park is developed around Dehasic Park is Village of Oak Lake, and I can't remember the name of the other subdivision. But years ago, the Dehasic family donated this property to the city of Sugar Land with the hopes that the city would develop it into a park. The city has a number of priorities, and this property is actually outside of the city limits in the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the city. And so a conversation began in 2023 about the county taking the lead on developing this park on behalf of the community. And so in the 2023 PARCS bond, this fell at that point under precinct 3. Commissioner Myers listed Duhasset Park in their funding at the tune of about $9 million to be able to develop this park. And then the county and the city finally struck an agreement on the county leasing this for 30 years, I believe it is, right? 30 years from the city to be able to fully develop and operate it. On the site currently is an existing home, the homestead of the Duhasset family, and the city has done a crushed gravel parking lot and one pavilion. But beyond that, it's open, green field, beautiful trees. Our goal at the onset of this was to preserve as much of the green space as possible and not do the whole let's concrete pavement everywhere. But what we heard from the feedback from the public is that that's very important as we're getting more densely compacted and congested to maintain open green spaces. But when we first met with the engineering team and they really studied this area and the history of this area, recognizing the importance of the pecan trees in that park. We talked about perhaps also extending and planting more pecan trees where there's like a grove of pecan trees for folks to come and harvest every year. And so that becomes a community event and a community connection opportunity. And so this is the result of some of those conversations and the feedback we received from the public. And the goal would be to start working on that and commence construction. It looks like, if not at the end of this year, at the very beginning of next year, so that there are some of those fields and green spaces available to the public next year. So that's kind of where we are. And I have to apologize. I did not introduce our team. I have to recognize our parks director, Mr. Darren McCarthy, who is here, who's done an incredible job at helping us to grow our park system and professionalize them. So thank you for your leadership in getting us here. And Lauren Haskins, who's the project manager from my team, who's helped to manage the development of this project. Any questions for us? Yes.
Heather?
Back to the schedule, you said construction starting end of the year, so is the designs already started?
No, so design is commencing, as you mentioned with the timeline, they're getting ready to start the design. We wanted to make sure before they started that, we came before you to get more of your thoughts and feedback. So if there are any tweaks they need to make, they can do that on the front end. And we're also going to be presenting to the city council as well next month, I believe, is the 25th of this month. Okay, in 2 weeks, so that they also have visibility and are able to give feedback. I'm trying to be as aggressive as possible. For those of you who don't know, I have an expiration date here, December 31st, in this role. And so I want to make sure that I'm able to get as much of this started as possible. But it looks more realistic, like we'll be starting construction in Q1 of next year.
Do you have an approximate start time for phase 2, which I guess would include like the vegetable garden, the playground, the pickleball courts, that kind of thing?
Well, that will depend on, you want to address it or?
Well, I think it largely depends on
Yeah.
political will.
Yeah, so it'll depend on whomever is in the seat next and their interest in this particular project, and then just the availability of mobility, our PARCS bond funding. Yeah.
And so I have 2 questions.
Yes, sir.
Any deed restrictions with the original property given to the city of Sugar Land that we need to be aware of, or that plays into this in any way? And I'm looking at both of you, I'm not sure.
Yes, so I can answer that. There are deed restrictions and the county's been made aware of them
Okay.
and are incorporating all of them in this plan. So we've been communicating on that.
So the other question is probably addressed as much to you as to them, but in the overall scheme of parks and city of Sugar Land, how does this either complement to what we have in terms of offering in parks we're running, or duplicates? And I was curious about that. I have an idea just looking at the plot, but I'm curious that's been looked at.
So it has, and we shared our parks master plan with the consultants, and we've been meeting, we've been meeting several times, had several meetings in addition to the public input. So sharing our thoughts on what might complement our parks and what things were, were still being requested. Cricket fields, for example, we don't have any cricket fields in
I
any of
noticed
our,
that right
in
away.
any of our parks, so that would definitely complement it. Pickleball or any sports, would definitely, is something that we get requests for. A lot. Also, disc golf is something that we get requests for as well. Community gardens have shown up as well. So this will complement our existing system.
Thank you.
So now a follow-up with regards to what you're you're asking. Now, the maintenance program, I know you mentioned that the 30-year agreement with Sugar Land, are there participation in terms of maintenance, or is it gonna be pure Fort Bend County?
That responsibility is wholly with the Fort Bend County Parks Department.
Okay, thank you for that. And second question, this park is actually just north of the Cullinan Park.
Yes.
Are there gonna be plans or any thoughts of connecting those two
Great
parks
question.
together?
We actually did get that question at the public feedback section. And we will have to explore that as in a future phase of this project, what that connectivity along Red Gully would look like to connect into the trails at Cullinan. But that definitely is something we're looking at.
Fantastic, thank you so much.
This is a comment rather than a question, but thank you so much for thinking of preserving those trees because that's such a cool identifying feature. And also 100% support the idea of planting additional pecans. They're awesome for humans and they're great for wildlife. If you could throw a few native oaks in there too, it'd be such an incredible resource. Because there's fewer and fewer of them around. So having that kind of forward thinking is a great note for both people and for wildlife in the future with increased development here. So I think that's a really cool thought.
Absolutely. Oh, very good point. You know, it's interesting. Someone actually asked about the ability to ride their horses through here as well. There's actually a resident who lives right over here who has horses. And she noted that she can't ride them through Cullinan Park, but would she be able to ride here? And we didn't have a definitive answer on it.
Okay, so I've had the joy of renting this park for an event. And it's really cool. It's a really big space. So I think this utilizes it well. I like all the different areas. What are the trails made of? They're not pavement, right?
Mulch. As of right now, they're intended to be mulch. Long term, like when phase 2 comes around, if there's some sort of an additional need that's identified, that could be revisited. It certainly wouldn't, if it were hardened, if you will, it wouldn't be everywhere. So that
We
wasn't.
weren't able to walk the whole property because of the way it is currently. But I can see that would be nice to be able to utilize the whole space. And I do like Hojan's comment about in the future connecting the two parks because I mean, just the ability to go back and forth is just great. I love it. Thank you.
And we've attempted in the county to come up with the trails master plan and looking at all the trails throughout our communities and, you know, our various city trail programs or projects. And so we're thinking about that because ideally, and I heard it my first year from and I know this is a bit controversial, particularly with Cullinan, but the Fort Bend or Sugar Land Mountain Bike Association, I think is what they're called, right? And them wanting to be able to have more connected trails so that it's not like they're having to get on the roadway, which is a safety issue. So we're thinking about that. And you'll definitely see more of that in the future. That's fantastic.
One question, you mentioned the bond funding, is that enough to get this through phase 1, phase 2, phase?
Yeah, so it started out as like a little over $9 million pot. Commissioner Myers, prior to redistricting, moved about $1.5 million of that to another project he had. And so we're working with just under $8 million for this. That was the budget that they were given to work with when starting to design phase 1 and 2. So there should be adequate funds there. But asterisk, it depends on how long it takes and inflation and everything else.
Inflation and interest rates.
Yeah.
And who's got the money, et cetera. Okay. And just a general comment, I appreciate, Kimberly, that there's not a dedicated cricket field, but for years, there have been a lot of cricket players at Lost Creek Park utilizing the soccer field. So having dedicated fields is probably a good idea. Having said that, though, the more we can use or develop multi-use capability, so if you can use the cricket fields for soccer, football or something like that, there's just better or more utilization, I guess, in general. So that may, and I know, not being a cricket player, I don't know the exact dimensions and all that, but obviously you've got round ones and square ones and rectangles, but the more we can develop multiple use spaces, I think that's better. So.
Yeah, we do agree with that, and do acknowledge it. So in reality, when you're standing out in this space, those round fields aren't obviously round, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They get marked during play, so it ends up being a very large open green space for multi-use if there isn't active cricket activity. But that's certainly something we're open to making that grass instead of, that can be hashed out during the actual design process. But that was the overwhelming majority of the active voice at the public engagement was cricket. So.
Follow-up question, regards to this next to the creek there, I mean, I'm sure y'all looked at in terms of the floodplain. I'm assuming there's some 100-year floodplain as part of that process and mitigation. I guess this is more an open field area. Is that what it is right next to it? There's no structure.
Yes. All of this is open and will remain open. Even the dog park is just fencing and, some things out in grass essentially. There is a pedestrian bridge noted on here. It did come up. It was asked to be included in the master plan, which speaks to the connectivity, et cetera. I don't actually know that the bridge isn't really required if there was a path on this side as well, because they go down and hit the roads and you could connect there. But that's why it was included, was essentially to try to augment the connectivity on a regional level. So.
And I'll just be fully transparent. The bridge might not actually and likely won't go there.
Right.
The part that's outlined in green is all Duhasek Park. But the part on the, I guess, western side of Red Gully has been deeded to the Mud District over there, and they've developed that part. I think it's like 10 acres or something like that. And they would like for it to be separate so that, mainly it's just their neighborhood that's making use of it. And so that we might not see that happen, or we might see a public revolt.
Fair enough. Thank you. That's right. Thank you. Anyone, any other further comments or questions? No?
Is there anything, this is my last question, anything that stands out to you that you feel is missing that you would expect in a park here?
Good question.
Possibly a silly question. Restrooms?
Yeah.
Yes. So they have incorporated that, right? Let me see it. So that's the other thing that I didn't mention. Restrooms are there. The city did build a restroom.
Okay. So adjacent to the existing large pavilion that you saw the picture of, there is a bathroom here to facilitate that, and there would be an expansion of that and a duplication. So
Would that be in phase 1 or would the expansion of that be in phase 2?
we will get water fountains are anticipated to be included for the fields and for the dog park as part of phase 1.
Just a comment from me, I'd like to thank the commissioner. I appreciate this partnership. The Parks Department appreciates this partnership as well as the city. It's, we've had tremendous communication, and they've been open to receiving our ideas and wanted to make sure that they had y'all's input as well as ours and the public, to make sure that we have a space that is, for everybody, for City of Sugar Land users to use as well as county users. So we've been very happy with the process. So appreciate you.
Commissioner, thank you so much for the presentation. Very informative. Appreciate y'all time being here.
It's our pleasure. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
And thanks for what y'all do. This is a volunteer gig.
Yes.
Volunteer game.
Nice presentation.
Next item in our workshop is our fiscal year 27 annual civic arts and work plan. Consideration of an action on the recommendation of 2027 annual work plan for civic arts and fall will be Assistant Director of Neighborhood Services, will be presenting.
Evening, everyone. All right, so just as a reminder as to who we are. You know, the city really prides itself as being the center for entertainment and art in Fort Bend County. And Civic Arts acts as that liaison with our creative artists and you know, that community. So every year we develop a work plan. This is how we put in our request for budgeting for the next fiscal year. And part of that is just a high level overview types of projects that we'll be carrying out in that next fiscal year. So we bring it to the PARCS Board for review and consideration and feedback. And then we actually take this work plan to our SL4B board. And they are our main funding source because Civic Arts is funded through sales tax. So they would vote on a final resolution to grant us funding. So just as a quick overview of what we accomplished in this current fiscal year, which ends at the end of September, we did conduct the Better Block placemaking activation. I'm not sure if anyone went by. It's at Brooks and 90. We did a really neat activation. That site was completely unutilized, and we turned it into, you know, a neighborhood resource. Folks gathered there, folks celebrated that area. And we did quite a few individual activations. One of them was like, we had Kempner High School students come out and do an anime festival. So it was really neat to see all the kids in their costumes. We had night markets out there. So there was a lot of little mini activations really specific to the neighborhoods. So it did very well. We've also been working on a Memorial Park statue design that we would be looking at placing over by the dog park. It's a very large piece, so we're split it up into different phases and we're finishing up the design for that. We also did 4 hand-painted traffic boxes this year. I'm not sure if you realize that a lot of our traffic boxes are actually wrapped. But this time we decided to give the artists a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more hands-on interaction with the pieces itself. So those were hand painted. We also installed 6, was it 6? It might have been 6 little libraries. And really neat resource to the community. Each box is hand painted by an artist. There's a story, there's a theme. They're really beautiful. We also completed repairs at the Mayfield Park basketball court mural. We had one corporate mural that was in, it's currently in the mall. And I'll speak to that a little bit later in the presentation. And then we actually began putting out our public art survey. So in this coming fiscal year, we really want to build upon the theme of, you know, this fiscal year, which is beauty of life, turn it into something that's very inclusive. So our theme is going to be art of belonging. We want to bring the community together. We want to highlight the diverse cultures and viewpoints within our community, and really embrace what makes Sugar Land unique in Fort Bend County in Texas, in the US. We've gotten a lot of, you know, national awards, recognitions for how wonderful our community is, and we really want to celebrate that. So starting off with our little libraries, again, they're a really great resource for the community. Their book exchanges, I actually went out and was taking pictures of some of them, and I caught folks going and running in and stopping and swapping out books. So we will be putting out additional little libraries this year. Here's an example of a hand-painted traffic box. We're also looking at some areas that have wraps, but maybe the wrap is looking a little bit, you know, sun faded. So we are going to be doing an assessment of those traffic boxes to see which ones need to be, you know, the art swapped out.
Question on the boxes, what's your expected life of the hand painted ones? Is it more than the wrap?
Oh, so that's the, you know, we're a little bit of trial and error. Those boxes get really hot. They're stainless steel. They're in the full sun. So, you know, the wraps have held up really well. So we'll see how the hand painted ones look after a bit. We're also continuing our work on murals. This is a mural that is on the side of our senior center. It is a national award-winning mural. Folks don't know that, but this won national awards. So we're going to continue building on that, seeing what other buildings are available. We actually have a meeting next 2 weeks, 2 weeks with an artist to see, you know, what buildings are available for, you know, for more artwork. We also have a mural reimbursement program. This is what I was referencing earlier when I said about a corporate mural. We really want to also empower our local businesses to move forward with art projects themselves. It can be a little bit scary if you've never commissioned artwork before. So we have a reimbursement program where we offer up a certain dollar amount. We make our qualified artist roster available. And we, you know, provide them like a structure. This is what you do. This is a sample of a contract. You know, this is the kind of language that we, you know, this is kind of the general process. So almost like a coaching session. And we really want to teach the community how to commission art and how to continue doing that even without the support from the city. We're also going to put out additional functional art benches. These have been really popular in the parks. So we don't have specific areas slated. So if there are any ideas, we'd be happy to hear about that. But we will be putting out 3 more functional art benches this next fiscal year. Has anyone seen these out at Smart Financial Center? They're amazing. This is actually a world touring art collective, and really, really famous. We were very happy to get 3 pieces from that collection. It's a 3-year lease, so we are moving into year 3 in FY27. And then we're going to be looking at how to build a stronger sense of community here locally with artists and workshops. So again, we really want to serve as a host for artists of all disciplines, giving them an environment to meet each other, to support each other, to brainstorm together and tell us how the city can help support the you know, those efforts. So we're really going to be working hard on identifying all of the artists here locally. So if you know any artists, please make sure you direct them to us so that we can get them on our list. And then we're going to keep moving forward. One request that we get quite a bit is to film. People want to film at Imperial. People want to film in our police station. People want to film on our streets. And right now we don't have a firm structure for how they can do that, how they can apply or what fees to charge or anything like that. So we do have a process through our special event permitting, but really building out those components on what it means to put in a request to film within the city. We also received funding, slated funding for FY27 for music. Music is not something that can be funded through sales tax. It is not a qualifying expense for 4B dollars. So we were able to get slotted a bit of money so that we could continue our busker program. The city is a certified music friendly city. We did get that certification through the Texas Music Office. So we want to continue, you know, building upon that. Again, really just building here locally in our community and supporting artists of all disciplines. And next year we will be participating in Make Music Day. It is an international event that is just a celebration of music. Teachers will come out. We've had music schools come into Town Square and put on, you know, guitar lessons and drum lessons, and we've gone to different venues and highlighted again, buskers who come out and join us for that day. So we are going to be holding that in, I think it's June 20th, 21st, June 21st. It's always the same day. So we will be participating in that next year. And then I really just want to put a plug for that survey. I put the postcards in front of you. It's really, really important to get as much feedback from the community as we can. So really appreciate if you would take that survey, and if you need more postcards to share with others, be happy to give you more, because we really want to hear as much as hear from as many folks as we can. And with that, so this is, these are students from an art school called Catapult Art. And we brought them into Public Works, and they helped paint all of the FIFA manhole covers, which are actually still out in Town Square. So if you're curious about that, but these are the kind of, initiatives that we really want to hone in on. How can we support our local art schools, local galleries, that sort of thing. So be happy to answer any questions.
Go ahead.
So many cool things. It's really awesome to see how many different kinds of art as well are being incorporated. I love the music stuff included. This may be a question for the next financial year, or fiscal year. But you talked about the artworks at Smart Financial coming into their last year of.
So it's a little deceptive, because in the lease renews in this month. So with this fiscal year, we are paying lease year 2. So next August, we'll be paying lease year 3.
Okay.
And then it carries over through that next. So it won't actually come down until 28.
Okay.
So it's the timing of the lease is a little off.
Like the same question, like they just went up.
I don't understand the timing. Beautiful pieces, and we'll definitely be looking to place something else there once that lease agreement ends.
You mentioned you said those were manhole covers?
Yeah, man.
These are manhole covers.
Yeah.
We had students come out, and they actually painted them all in one afternoon. And we took car paint sealant, and we covered the manholes, and they're out in Town Square right now.
Are you gonna expand upon that?
Like it.
I mean, you're doing traffic.
It's really cute.
I don't know that we want people stopping in the middle of the road.
It took a bit of convincing. Actually, there's a state law that says you're not allowed to put art in the street. Yeah, that passed. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the walkways and stuff like that. Yeah.
But it's kind of, the way it's written, it's kind of broad, so we were struggling.
I just want to acknowledge the great work you're doing. We were just talking about how much we love that mural on the side of the building.
Beautiful.
And
Striking.
to the Kempner Better Block. And it was so cool to watch the kids dancing, and they had pop-up markets, and it was so cool. And I love Better Block. I've talked about that forever, and look forward to more things happening, and want to sponsor some things when life slows down a bit. But thank you for everything you're doing. You said you want artists to do workshops and build a community of creatives. Where would the workshops be held?
So, I mean, it really depends. We've held workshops before at the old visitor center in where the Heritage Museum is currently. Heritage Museum is currently.
Okay, yes.
I mean, we have a lot of different venues around the city that we have access to, that we could place folds, and it would really depend on the needs of that particular workshop and what makes the most sense.
And also,
Certainly, I'm a fan of that space over at the old visitor center, because it's historic and it's kind of moody, but
and thank you too for bringing kids into it, because kids need to know that art is a viable career, that they could make a livelihood doing what they love in life. You're helping some dreams come true.
Well, and I will tell you, so there was one, and I think this is the picture that I added. We actually worked with an artist who was under 18. So we had to figure out the legalities of contracting them. They're underage. But we did I put it in here? I don't. This box.
Oh, this box with the adventure on
So she was what 16? She's 16, 17.
it. Wow.
Incredibly talented artist. And so age obviously doesn't dictate talent.
That's
And
right.
We want to encourage our young artists and actually teach them that there is a way to work with local government. There can be compensation for it. That's definitely on one of our goals.
So Nicole, you talked about identifying artists. Have you worked with the school districts with their art program?
So the artwork that you see exhibited out here is Fort Bend ISD artwork. And then we worked with them on the anime, the festival, construction for the Better Block site. Obviously, we're always looking for closer collaboration.
Last round of traffic boxes were all.
And the last round of traffic boxes were all Fort Bend ISD teachers, art teachers. So, we definitely look for ways to work with the school district, and we have actually sent them the survey and encouraged them to share it with their students. Because that youth voice is really important to us too.
Questions? Comments? Oh.
Smiling, I'm so happy.
I do have a question, if that's okay, regarding the film. I was very interested in that. I didn't realize we were getting requests to film. Are we talking about more on the, Instagram persons, or is it more on a more high level?
It's like small films, commercials. I think the funniest one we got was that attorney that wanted to film another. Jim Adler.
The Texas Hammer.
Obviously, his ad.
Had a TV show want to film at the police station.
The Academy filmed at the Recreation Center, filmed a commercial.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we get requests.
There's a TV show, The Rookie. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that.
Yeah.
The world's,
ABC has that.
yeah, ABC's, he's the world's oldest rookie policeman, but it's in LA. But they have a character who served on the police department in Sugar Land.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. Are we getting royalties on that, Manny? Check into that.
I do want to make one other point, because during the kite festival, they do obviously they have the chalk art piece, right? But then you typically have, I'm gonna assume it's an invited person. Up on the levee, they did the perspective. It was a very interesting. It looks 3D, but depending on where you stand. Have you thought about the concept of doing art like that since we can't put it on the streets, right? You can put it on bike paths, I assume, or other things. Have we looked at expanding public art into those type of public spaces?
I think the survey is great for you to get.
I love the survey.
Hey,
The survey.
Those good ideas.
We drive what gets incorporated into our updated kind of art master plan. And that will drive budget requests, funding sources, that sort of thing. So we're always looking for new ideas. I mean, Kimberly's always got a lot of really neat ideas.
All kinds of ideas.
And I think, we would love those recommendations.
Well, talking about ideas, I recently saw, I'm not sure if it was the Fort Bend community newspapers, and they had trails that were lighted, I guess, through the concrete system.
Sugar Land Trail.
any idea what trail?
We're gonna talk about that in our directors.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where is it?
Yeah, well, wait, we have an item in our director's report, we can talk about that.
It's on my.
Right. Nicole, thank you so much
Yeah,
for
thank
your
you.
time.
Thank you.
Good news. Thank you.
Yeah, exciting.
All right.
Artistic, creative juices.
Lastly, we have our director's report. This Kimberly Terrell will be presenting tonight.
Great. We've got, since we haven't met in a little while, it was a very thorough director's report, and I'm sure you all read every single bit of it.
Stay up late,
Every
yes.
single bit. I'm gonna test you. There's a test at the end.
It's like probably more than you want us to.
Test at the end. I'll see. We'll roll this all the way back to the back. All right. Okay, that's all right. I still love you. So we've been working with our communications department very hard on a revised video. I know that some of y'all participated in our parks video. Gosh, it was when we were doing the last master plan. So I guess it was in 2017-ish. That's how long it's been. So, and a lot of things have changed since 2017 in the Parks Department. So we wanted to work with our communications group to come up with something new for us, new and fresh. So we're gonna, this is its public unveiling here tonight. I don't know, does this thing, do I not? Oh, I don't know how to do this. Michelle like briefed me on this before, let's see. Control click. Michelle, you have to help me. Like control click. Control link with you. Awesome. I even wrote it down, control.
Gosh. You remind me of me, Kimberly.
All right, I mean, I follow the instructions.
Your students help you.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, my kids tell me how to do it.
Yeah. My kids help me.
I have to email this to you so you can look at it. Good. Is it coming? Yay, you were magical. Real quick, I promise. Limitless way to rock out. Get pumped.
Is it the full screen down there?
Go full screen.
There you go. There, right there.
Soar above.
Oh.
Go off grid.
Oh, wow.
Give it another try.
Wow.
Make memories.
Oh.
Find new friends. Take a shot.
Oh, thank you.
Our movie star.
Hey.
Nice. Oh, there it is.
Immerse yourself in nature.
Yeah.
With 2 recreation centers, dozens of amenities, exciting events year round. Over 1,100 acres of parks. And over 35 miles of trails. Sugar Land, Parks and Recreation, limitless possibilities.
Nice voice, Kimberly.
Well done.
So I did that voiceover about 5 times, and every time I did it, communications, it's like, no, we need you to pump it up to like this time. I'm like, okay. They're like, no, pump it up like, you know, to 7, and they're like, pump it up to 10, and I'm like, I sound ridiculous. It's gonna be fine, and I'm like, it sounded great. It's gonna be fine. All right. So yeah, we're really excited about the, communications worked really hard on that, and we're very opinionated in Parks and Recreation, so we had lots of back and forth. It's like, yeah, this is great, but this would be better. And they're like, okay, so they went out and shot some more graphics. It's like, okay, this is great, but this would be better. They like shot some more graphics. So I appreciate their patience in creating the video for us. So we're excited. Okay, splash pad. Coming soon. They have been working very hard out there. I heard from our team that we have a ribbon cutting in late September tentatively, right? So keep an eye out for that. We like to be cautious when we do ribbon cuttings just to make sure that everything's done, because we've done the other way around where we've scheduled a ribbon cutting and then it's not quite done, and then it's no. So we're gonna wait till it's done and then we're gonna schedule the ribbon cutting. So late September. So we're super excited about that. But that's the slab for that. And if you drive by Memorial Park, you'll see
Have
that.
you had any issues? Because it seems like it's taken a little longer.
So it did take a little longer. We had all of that rain, and so we had a significant amount of time that we were sort of rain delay there. They need super good weather. They're always careful when they pour concrete and do those things because they don't want to do it again. So they were delayed due to rain for some weeks. Was it July or June or July? We had all that rain, but they're delayed a little bit. So it is a little bit later than we like, but we want to make sure it's done good, done right. It's gonna be around for a while, so we need to make sure it's done. We're revamping all of the parks rules signs. Funglin and team has been working really hard with that and with multiple departments in the city just to make sure all the language is perfect and everything is right. So the last rule signs I did as Parks Development Manager back in about 2017. So it's time for a revamp. Sorry, not 2017, 2007. It's been a while.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a while. So we're doing new modern signs with good QR codes and new, not new rules, but just communicating differently to our folks in areas where we think we need to communicate differently. Those things. Eldridge Park improvements project. So this is progressing. This is currently in design. I think we've presented this to y'all in the past. So this is really, Eldridge Park was built in 1999. So it has, it's in need of some repairs and some upgrades and some improvements. So this will address some of the ponding issues that you'll see in the parking lot if you're familiar with that. We have enough ducks there. We don't need additional ducks in our parking lot, but we have a lot of water in our parking lot and a lot of other things. The walls featured here, the wall around the playground needs some repair and upgrades. And there's the park, it's been around a while, so the oak trees have grown in substantially and have created a lot of dirt areas around there. How can, do we need to go in with some gravel and add some different amenities? But it's in design right now. We're going to Sugar Land 4B soon for a funding resolution for the construction part of it, but design is progressing. I think we're in 90% drawings. We always work very well with Eagle Scouts. We love our Eagle Scouts. We had one recently. We like to involve them not only in their projects. He was doing some accessibility projects around the butterfly garden at Sugar Land Memorial Park, but we also like to bring folks in to do the Pledge of Allegiances at City Council. So he joined us and did the Pledge of Allegiance with us as part of that recognition. We are wrapping up the old Imperial Prison Farm Cemetery signage. This has been quite an extensive project, and I think Funglin may have talked to you about this before. But we have a website dedicated to this as well, where we identify all of the folks that are buried, that we know that are buried at the cemetery. And we have on the website all of their documentation. So all of the Texas Department of Justice, TGJ, whatever it is, they have all of their information is all public records. So we've gotten all of that from the early 1900s when the cemetery was active, and we've copied all of that documentation, put it on the website so you can see all the documents related to these folks. But this sign will be closer to the road, so you can go up and park right there on the roadway and look at it and really understand the story of this cemetery. If y'all aren't familiar with where this is, forgive me, this is in Telfair. It's kind of adjacent to the Reese Center, kind of just south of Starbucks. It's sort of how I orient myself, but it's out there.
we can visit them. Parks maintenance, they're always busy, always super busy, but they're even busier when folks vandalize our parks. So we had a copper theft at City Park, where they stole a substantial amount of copper wire and generally just, you know, messed things up for us. And then we got a call that our restroom at Socket Park was on fire. So somebody had lit a toilet paper roll on fire in that restroom. Sorry, not Socket Park, Settlers Way Park, excuse me. So we've been able to repair both of those things since then. Haven't caught any of the bandits there, but we're able to repair things and get things back up and running as quickly as possible. On the very left-hand side, we've repurposed the soccer chairs that we had out here on the plaza for, you know, as long as we can keep them up and going, and we put them in Lost Creek Park because soccer balls, right? So they make kind of a cool photo opportunity out there. And then the other slide is just, you know, our folks at work doing their irregular big projects of plumbing, et cetera. There's always something, but our maintenance folks, they do such a tremendous job of keeping everything up and running for our citizens. We really appreciate them. This is the restroom that's at Mayfield Park. They proactively noticed some issues with the wood, and they thought, hey, before this gets out of hand, we're going to take care of it. So they went ahead and took care of that at the restroom building. We have a new class, Mindful Moments with Ankita. So we always have new things going on. This is one of our new classes. Summer camps are all wrapped up because, of course, folks went back to school. We had over 800 campers this year for our summer camps. We had about the same number as last year, a little bit more. We had one more class than we offered last year, but our summer camps are always a blast. We had lots of good feedback from our campers. As part of the FIFA activations, we did a soccer clinic out at Constellation Field, and despite the rainy day that was, everybody had a rainy day plan, and they pivoted, and instead of canceling the soccer clinic, they still were able to hold it. They got creative on the spots that they held the clinic, but it was a tremendous success, and folks were really excited about it. Our farmers market, I'm always happy to talk about our farmers market. It's always growing. We've always got new vendors out there. Y'all come visit. The Kimchi Club, they were a new vendor out about a month ago, and they were sharing on Facebook just how excited they were, and they sold out, and they just had a tremendous experience there and wanted to share it with everybody. So we love our farmers market, love our vendors. Food Truck Fridays, this happened in June. It's been a while now. So this was our kicking off the summer. So since it was in June, it was FIFA themed as well, right? Getting everybody hyped up. But Food Truck Fridays are always a good time. Y'all come out. But Right and Boom, this was a tremendous success. We had we had a sold out crowd over here. Great fireworks show. Big 4th of July celebration. So we appreciate our partnership with Constellation Field for this. So the Sugar Land Trail groundbreaking, this is the one that y'all wanted to find out a little bit more about. So Sugar Land Trail, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, then I can send you some blog posts and some other things that have way more information than I'm going to be able to tell you. But this trail was born out of the Parks Department, the Ped Bike Master Plan from 2007. So it's been in discussion for a very, very, very long time. This trail we used to call it the Ditch H Trail, right? Because it's mostly along Ditch H, but it's formally named the Sugar Land Trail. It is really the spine of the trail system, and all of these other trails connect into it. So it goes there's a trailhead at Imperial Park at the end of that parking lot. So you can ride from Imperial Park, and it goes kind of through University. It goes under Highway 6, under Highway 59, so you can ride just without having to cross traffic all the way to Constellation Field and beyond on this trail. So
We are very excited about this. I wrote down, because I know you will have this question when it will be completed. It's estimated completion in October of 27. So it'll be a while to finish it, right? It's a big trail, nice and wide, shared use path kind of trail, but it does have these really cool glow in the dark elements that appear along it. So that'll help. I mean, it's for you to ride.
So ditch H is the big one that goes eventually into the Brazos.
Yes.
So how far toward the Brazos does the trail go? Does it go under 59 by Clements and down?
Yeah, it goes under 15. It goes under Highway 6 and under Highway 59.
Okay, but it's not completed yet.
No, it just broke ground, like
Okay.
just. I don't even know that they've got the trucks out there yet. It literally, I think it was last week, it just broke ground. So it's a brand new thing. So, but it's very exciting because, you know, I mean, I'd be able to ride from my office on down 90 to Imperial down to, I mean, Brazos River Park. I mean, it's going to be a tremendous asset to the community, this trail. Yeah, I'm really,
Get all the other bike riders off the city streets then,
well, we can't make them.
ones that go 4 wide and EV. I think the road belongs to them.
They're, you know,
No offense to bike riders.
bike riding.
And trust me, I'd much rather be on the path than doing battle with the automobiles.
Yeah.
But you get to a point where
You can't get
you
any
can't.
Distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're excited about being able to go under 6 and 59. I mean, that's just
You know
tremendous.
how wide it's going to be?
I believe it's 10 feet.
Okay, because the one from the Memorial Park up to the U of H is nice and wide and you can share it with pedestrians. The ones that are narrow, then you get into an issue. I hate to say this, the one connecting Memorial Park to the Brazos Park.
Mhm.
That's, you're right on the road because the bike path is too narrow to have people and bikes together. And that's one of my concerns, is that we don't necessarily design it for multi-use.
I believe this one is 10 feet. I'll get confirmation for you, but I believe that it's 10 feet. But yeah, we're very excited about this trail. There's a Sugar Land blog post about this trail that gives way more details and shows way more pictures than I'm giving you here. But it's going to be really exciting, and we're excited to, we'll make sure everybody's invited to the ribbon cutting. We're excited about this.
You said completion was October of 27?
Projected October 27. That's pending everything, right? Yeah, but that's the current projection on completion. Right at the plaza, this was just last week. This was a great back to school type food truck event that happened at the plaza adjacent to the Smart Financial Center. We had a tremendous attendance. We had a lot of our partners there. We had Fort Bend ISD there. We had tremendous sponsors. It was a really great event. We saw lots of people come and enjoy, and we had some free school supplies for folks and some, yeah, so it's a great event. T. Harmon Center, they're always doing something fun. Again, you know, membership only starts at 50, so I'm just saying. You'll find yourself without something to do, head on over to the T. Harmon Center.
Yeah, no.
We have an annual crawfish boil, so up there at the top is the crawfish boil pictures, and they're always going on field trips, casino trips, just different trips around town, and then they had a 4th of July celebration as well. So there's always something going on. Always a good time at the senior center. And then the community expo. Who's heard about the community expo? Nobody. All right, Brianna, we got some work to do.
Flyers from outside and.
We got some work. So the Community Expo is a new event, and we're partnering with Fort Bend ISD and using their location. It will be at the Reese Center. I had to write down when it was. It's Saturday, February 20th. It is a day-long event that will be a place for residents to connect with the city in different ways, to find out more about city services, to find out what, kind of more education about what the city does, and really to connect with the people that serve y'all in the city. So we are, Brianna is actively working on this. She's one of the main committee members that's putting this together. We are still we're still in the planning mode, you know, all of the groundwork is laid. We're just getting to the nitty gritty of who's doing what, when, and all of those pieces, because we want to make sure that we're providing the best opportunity to interact with folks. So we, you know, we're the government, we have a survey. So if you, we'd love for y'all to fill out the survey to tell us, for you to tell us what you would like to see from us at the expo, or you can tell us here. Brian is always happy to, you know, to get comments and feedback for the expo. But we want to connect better with folks. We want our community to better understand government and to make sure that we're more accessible and for y'all to really understand what we do. That is all I have.
Those bad boys that damaged things, do we have videos and are we?
Assume they were.
So, you know, we don't have any video, like of the copper wire. I mean, are there video cameras in the parks that would?
We don't have any, no.
I can't stand people that destroy things.
I know, we don't have anything now.
Hear them.
No, you know, it's the vandalism, folks do vandalize our parks and we'd rather they not. That's just my message for the world. Please don't, please don't. If you need a volunteer project, we're happy to put you to work somewhere, but yeah.
Other comments or questions?
Couple questions. I think Eldridge, you said you're gonna redo the athletic fields, the soccer fields and that. Is that the plan there?
Yes, so the soccer fields, as you know, they've been built back in like 1900s. And the soil there is very tricky. It's this really bad expansive clay soil. And so the irrigation is hard to keep up and the fields just need to be re-leveled and regraded. So the plan is to redo all of the irrigation and to redo the fields out there.
Fields themselves, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might look for some lost children because there's cracks. There have been cracks where kids have been lost in there.
Yes, correct. Yes.
And then you said the field lighting at City Park and Lost Creek Park.
Yes.
It looked like that was a request. Has that been approved or what's the status of that?
So we have the 3 projects that we've proposed for the Sugar Land 4B budget. And so, you know, those will be adopted when the budget's adopted, but they're so far so good. So there's those 3 projects. One's a playground, Mesquite Park playground design, Sugar Mill Park playground, a redo of Sugar Mill Park playground, and then the LED lighting.
So are they gonna replace the lighting or they're just replacing they're not gonna replace all the poles and that, they're just replacing the lights?
No, the poles will likely stay. There are some poles at City Park just due to their age that need to be replaced, but for the most part, we're keeping the poles and just changing the fixtures and the wiring and the controls that go with them.
I assume the various leagues are aware of that.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? All right. Oh,
Can you remind me, what's the status of the senior center?
Redevelopment.
Yeah, redevelopment.
So we presented, so the consultant completed the master plan for that, and we presented that to City Council, I think a month or so ago at their workshop. It was very well received. They had, they weren't asked to vote on anything, but they had some comments. And there was a couple of scenarios that they preferred. So they, it will proceed forward, but the funding mechanisms have not yet been determined. So that's the big piece, right? We always say with time and money, we can do anything. So we will have to, staff will be working on some proposals for funding for that.
all right, thank you. Kimberly, thank you so much for your report. Appreciate it. As always, great. All right, guys, with that said, can I take
Make a motion.
Yeah, Joan Answer made the first motion.
Second.
Okay, thank you, Sunny, appreciate it. With that said, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Exactly. Assignment, like every little detail, it's so great. Such a detail. Always. Yes. Yes.